Rivals, welcome to Bax Attacks. Today we continue the Troop Spotlight series looking at Raiders, a very unused troop that I think are going to be used a lot more often once people understand how good they are. Now at first glance, their health is pretty low, their damage is pretty low, their attack speed is low, and they prioritize gold, and most people are more interested in taking out defenses. So why would you want to use this? Well, they have some really interesting special abilities. If a raider destroys a building or a wall, it will damage nearby structures with a nice pulse of damage. And if the building was a gold production building, it will spawn a new raider. So if you compare the hit points to a soldier, it's about half. The damage per second is much less. But don't discount the damage that it does in an area when it takes out a wall or a building. In fact, this kind of makes it very useful for busting out walls. And if a building is blocking it from getting into gold, it will take it out first. Let's look at how the stats increase with level. From level 1 Raider to level 7, the hit points have about a 50% increase or so, the DPS about doubles, and that pulse damage can be not large, but pretty significant, about 100 points or so. And if you have many Raiders doing this, you're going to see some significant damage. The only kind of big jump up is at level 3 for Raiders. The other ones are kind of a smooth transition. We're going to look at various ways that you can use Raiders, and in the first one we'll look at its use for busting open walls. You can see in the east corner of the base the smelter on the outside is close to the storage on the inside, so if we take away those other free buildings, they will naturally want to go into the core. So figuring out where your raiders are going to go next is an important part of trying to use them intentionally for a strategic attack. Now we'll get the free mana and remove the gold buildings with the dragon up front, and we'll be coming down and knocking out that gold storage as well. But we may as well take the troop portal along the way. Using Jal in this attack as our ancient, there are several dangerous spell towers within the center, and we'll want to have extra mana for that. Another benefit of using the raiders is they will run ahead in order to prioritize the gold buildings, and so they can distract the defenses and take some fire there. Alright, so they are chopping through those walls like they're nothing there, and they are producing nice splash damage as they blow things up, and you see a little bit of a kind of a yellow explosion when that happens. Notice right now the raiders are all running up north. They're trying to get into the gold storage there. The attack is going pretty normal down south, but you see, look at the walls disappearing. Now they have to cut through the wall up top, and look at it, poof. Bam! Look at all those walls disappear. That really highlights the fact here that that pulse damage is when a raider destroys any building or any wall. It's not when it only when it destroys a gold building. Now they'll spawn a new raider when it destroys a gold building, but that pulse damage is very effective. Is area effect and can really do some nice damage to the defenses. All right, now a second good example of using raiders is when you have a large number of gold buildings on the outside of the base, and the raiders can both clear those out. They will multiply in the process because they'll be spawning new raiders, and then they'll be distracting as well. If they run close to the wall, they're also going to do some damage and help to break through the walls. But in this case, they're a significant fighting unit in themselves. And once all the gold buildings are gone, they're going to go after the other buildings as normal. Alright, so this is a case where the spell towers are quite far away. We have lots of time. Look at all the mana we've built up with Jal. So we'll get that going on the towers, and then do a scorching heat as well. Try to hurt that flare tower as well. Alright, and indeed the raiders are coming through up on that right side where they finished. They're chopping through walls and defenses, really helping out the other units as well. And those bunker troops, or if there's a malice statue, go ahead and let those zombies chase after the raiders. They're going to have a hard time even keeping up with them, because they do run around the base very quickly. Alright, now look at the end here. We just have a handful of soldiers and about a dozen raiders at the end. So they were pretty effective as fighters in that attack. Alright, now there's one particular ancient, Lupa, where having raiders on hand is very, very helpful. I don't have Lupita, so I recorded this attack by Ben of Soulfire. And you'll see in a minute why raiders are so extremely helpful with Lupita. That first spell will recast itself whenever any building is taken down by a unit that is under effect of the spell. Then look, all the raiders, you got that conga line going, and they're going to be taking out a lot of those buildings up top. And so even if the troops in the core are not taking down any buildings, like for example they're frozen or they're attacking the stronghold, the fact that the raiders are attacking far away and destroying some buildings will cause that first spell to recast over and over. So including a raider in the mix when you're using Lupita really increases the chance of it recasting and makes the attack quite effective. This is just one example I've shown you, but I see this time and time again within our raid here. Alright, here's another example of using raiders to distract and to funnel troops. You want your main army to go into the core, and look at that row of 3 or 4 gold buildings in a row. And just like that, they are gone, and the raiders are off to the races. So by using that funneling, and in addition that did some burst damage to the walls, your main army is going to go run right into the inside. And you've even got some catapults and watchtowers shooting off at the raiders. There were some of them off on the left side as well. So they're distracting and drawing fire and multiplying on the left side also. I've definitely had cases recently where I've had my attacks stall and fail within the core, and I just have so many raiders. Now that the gold's gone, look at them. The walls just disappear, they vaporize. And other buildings are being hammered because you just have so many of them. If they're not getting hit, running around, they're going to multiply very well. Alright, I want to show that raiders are not just for low level, but here's an example of hitting a very high level base. This is not my attack, but Dirty One of Soulfire, and he's also using Lupita. He's using it on a high level base. And again, they're going to run around on the outside. They're going to keep that first spell firing, and they're going to distract some other defenses as well. Now he's using the dragon to draw a lot of fire. He's got a fairly strong dragon, but even that's going to take a lot of damage under the end here. Look at the raider army that's forming up top. Things are progressing kind of normal in the core, but look at the number of raiders up top. He's got to have 30, 40, or more of them. They're all heading for that gold storage, and once they take that out, they're going to start hitting everything else. Look at that. You saw about 6 yellow flashes there at once. They are just wrecking that base. The sheer number of them is incredible. I'm not sure of how those are countered or how it got to be so many. There aren't even that many gold structures on the base. So that's an example of quite the hoard you can get while using the raiders at high level, and they're not bad even against very strong bases. Alright, so let's recap again. Raiders are ground units that just aren't as strong as the other fighting forces soldiers. However, they have some very special abilities that make them great to throw in one into your squad. Their destruction pulse in particular applies when they destroy any building. And here's some of the things they're useful for and why I've replaced my Mauler with a raider. They're good at clearing a path of smelters that help the troop funnel. They can blow up walls, distract defenses. They can actually multiply quite nicely and in some cases become strong fighters in themselves. And if you happen to have Lupita, you definitely need to add a raider to your mix to keep that first spell firing repeatedly. So not only do I encourage you to check out raiders, but actually I just learned before finishing this video that Space Ape wants you to use them as well. And so there is actually a buff coming, a very strong improvement to raiders that I think you guys are going to like. And if you're not trying them now, if this video hasn't already convinced you, the changes that are coming very soon will. They're going to get an increase of hit points, some other features. I don't know the details on it yet, but I'm sure we'll find out enough about that soon. And check out the just comment section in the video for more information when that is available. So let me know if you're using raiders or if you think you might, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.